Alright, Jim Jam's playing white. We're black. He plays e4. Um, what opening do we want to try now? Let's just go with the Sicilian. We did the perk before. We'll do like the Carocon and the French and all kinds of other stuff throughout the day. c3, okay. Let's go knight f6. Attacking the e4 pawn. Now knight to d5. There's two different ways of dealing with the c3 move against the Sicilian. Knight f6 is one of them, and d5 is one of them. Knight f6 or d5 are the two options at that point. Both have their own merits, their own drawbacks. d5 is pretty popular. Knight f6 is also popular. They're kind of the two moves there. You could also play like e6 or d6 or something like that, but knight f6 or d5 are definitely the top two choices by a large margin, pretty much. Okay, we're going to play... I'm not really too worried about him taking my knight and doubling my pawns, because I can always take e5 to undouble him. So we're going to play bishop d7, and then put the bishop on c6. If he takes d5, that's not any problem. They don't really let you wear headphones at tournaments, do they? Depends on the tournament you go to. Most of them nowadays, because of all the cheating scandals, are starting to disallow it because they think you could be listening to somebody communicating with you or something like that. But some other smaller tournaments allow it. It's kind of unfortunate, though. I do typically do better listening to music, at least in a long tournament game. I'm usually trying to listen to music a lot. All right, see you later, Hasmi. Glad you tuned in. Check it. Tune in again on, what's today, Wednesday? Tune in again on Friday. Hey, JoseL23. I think I'm cursed. Fine, chess, awesome, but seriously suck at it. Rating 500. So it does take a lot of work. It's not really a game you can just improve on super quickly. I'll show you something. I'm not sure if you've seen the earlier streams, but I do write articles and have some tips on how to improve at chess. 3 key ways to improve. I'll point that out. I'll show you how to view those after the after I analyze this game and finish it and all that. All right, so we're just gonna castle. I already like my position quite a bit. I have the 2 bishop pair. My bishop on c6 is very nice. He's got a bad bishop on a3. Now it looks like he's going to trade off at least 1 pair of bishops. I would like to play queen a5, but I think he just takes the pawn, and it doesn't work out. This will look a little weird, but I'm going to play knight a6. I can't play knight d7 because he takes the d6 pawn. I need to get this knight into the game somehow. Going to kind of reroute it to d5. c7 to d5. Most likely. That's the idea. We'll see what he does what Jim Jam does from here. We're also going to play... Okay, d5. Not a bad move. Not a bad move. Actually, that's a little bit annoying. He's going to take with the knight, and I'm actually in... It's a little bit of a tricky situation here. I can't move the bishop because he takes the pawn. I can't take the pawn because then he still gets the bishop. If I take, still lose something. So if I take the knight, he takes back. I play knight c7. He takes the pawn. Allowing d5, maybe not the best idea. I'm glad I made you think. Maybe something better was here. I probably should just take the pawn. This is a little bit of a sticky situation here. A little bit of a sticky one. I like my bishop on c6, though. I really don't want to lose that. Rook e8, take. I think we have to do this, though, and then knight c7. I think we have to do this. Allowing d5 was not the best thing in the world, so good on him for playing that. He's gonna take b7, I assume, and then I'll push the d-pawn, I think is the idea. Or I'll take e5. Yeah, we're gonna take e5. He's gonna take the bishop, I'll take back, I assume. So we're gonna be down a pawn, surprisingly. Down a pawn here. Thought I was up a pawn earlier. No, I guess not. Alright, we're gonna be down a pawn here. And make sure we don't make any more mistakes. Queen d6, get out of the pin. Queen e4, okay, we're playing knight to e6. Knight g5 makes sense here, maybe? Okay, he goes there instead. Okay, we're going to just control the d-file. We're down a pawn, but we're going to get our stuff, centralized. Maybe the other rook would have been better on d8, though. I don't think it's a huge difference. We're going to get our stuff centralized. We're going to try not to lose on time. That would be unfortunate for sure. Alright, I think we'll play rook d7, put the other rook on c8. Or go there. Let's not do anything silly. Queen e7, knight f4 maybe next move. Queen f6, hit the rook on a1, and then knight f4. Okay, so we actually do end up picking the exchange back up, it looks like here. Take that. Our pawn structure is messed up, but we are up the exchange at least. King f8. Rook down to e2. He's got to watch out for the a-pawn. He's also got to watch out for checkmate on e1. And unfortunately for Jim Jam, it looks like that's it. Sorry about that, Jim Jam. So let's analyze this one here. So let's see. So like I said from the start, the two opening choices against c3, we could play d5 or knight to f6. Those are the two main options. The idea with d5 is that after take, d4, white's going to end up with an isolated pawn on d4, isolated queen pawn. The idea with knight f6 is that after the push, white has more space once again, but he's given up control of the d5 square. So, you know, he's we got a nice knight on d5. We go here, the push and the exchange. Yeah, nice game, Jim Jam. You did play well for sure. I'm not a huge fan of the bishop takes knight. I think your bishop is actually a pretty good piece, so typically you should play like knight c3 instead if you're trying to get rid of this knight. So bishop takes knight, probably not the best idea in my opinion, but it does allow you to kick things around a bit. After b3, bishop e7, rook e1, castle, bishop a3. Here I really should just take the pawn, and then you take, and I take, and you take, and I go here. And then I'm going to try to target your isolated pawn. Something like that, because of the pin. I somewhat underestimated the d5 move here. Because here I'm actually in a little bit of a pickle. I can't move the bishop because you just take that. And you're gonna... I can't take this because you just take it anyways, because it's guarded. If I play, like, I don't know, rook e8, you still take it and then take d6, and you're up a pawn. So I figured I could take, get the queen to move. At this point, actually, after I take here, I do think your best move is now... I think you can just play rook d1 and attack my queen instead of taking immediately. Now my queen is stuck defending two pieces, and it's tough for me to guard both of them. Actually, rook d1 I think almost wins you the game immediately. So maybe my knight c7 and d takes is not good. The problem is I still can't take here because you take, and then you get the rook. So probably what I have to do here is just play rook e8, take, 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 and then, I don't know, go here, something like that. Something like that. I definitely underestimated the d5 move. I should just take here, and I think I'm a little bit better. If you take with the knight, I'm a little bit better because of the isolated pawn. If you take with the pawn, I'm a little bit better because of the bishop. I can just reroute the knight into the game. Yeah, good game. Yeah, good game, Jim Jam. Unfortunately, near the end, I'm down a pawn here at this point, but not a terrible position by any means. Unfortunately, we get the knight f4 in for Jim Jam, and take, and then we're just kind of, even if he doesn't give us checkmate, if he plays like h3, we still have a better position at the end of the day. We can go pick up this pawn, and then we're probably just going to win by technicality. I was thinking rook d1, thought it cost me a bishop. I was rushing at that point because I don't have the timing for 3-2 and thought I was really low on time. Yeah, so Blitz is, obviously part of Blitz is knowing the timing and things like that. So, good game though. Good game. You definitely had me on the ropes there for a while. All right, so we'll see if we can get another game. So we're up to 17-8.